Right, I'm going to start, yep, the live streaming as well. Okay, it should be good.
Okay, so I'll call the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to order. Roll call. It looks like
Let me
missing.
do, Jeff, let me do my
You want
presentation.
to do your presentation first? Okay.
Yes, there is an attendee. Welcome to the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of July 14th, 2020. The meeting will take place in the webinar format through Zoom. The chairman of the Planning and Zoning Commission is Jeff Pritchard. The co-hosts tonight are planning staff Deb Jones and Diane Glemboski. Kara Hovland is also in attendance to record the meeting. Anybody speaking tonight should state their name prior to speaking. The attendees in the webinar are the public and any non-panelists. Right now, the panelists would be staff and the Planning and Zoning Commission members. The public hearing for tonight for Mystic Shipyard will not be held tonight. They have withdrawn their application. If anybody is in attendance tonight to actually speak on that application, you will not be speaking under public hearing, but you can actually speak under public communications if you have something to say on that application. Otherwise, you can also speak under public communications on anything not on the agenda tonight. Attendees will be called upon during public communications. We ask if you want to speak to raise your hand. That's a raise hand button at the bottom or the top of your screen. Attendees will be called upon one by the host, and they should identify themselves prior to speaking. Attendees can also submit public comments to the planning department after the meeting for consideration on any items. Okay, Jeff, now roll call.
Okay, on a roll call, it looks like Barbara, Kevin are absent. So I'll appoint Steve Luchek to sit for Barbara Tarbox, which will give us 5 voting members. Public hearing is on the agenda, as Diane said, is not going to be held because the application was withdrawn, and consideration of public hearings also is not applicable. Next item is approval of the minutes. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of June 23rd.
I will second.
It's moved and seconded. Does anyone have any corrections? Hearing none, then we'll vote on approval of the minutes of June 23rd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion.
One abstention, I wasn't there.
You don't have to be there to vote. But the motion is then carried 4 in favor, 1 abstention. Public communications. Does anyone on the commission have any communications?
I do not.
Staff have any? Does anyone in the public wish to address the commission tonight on an item that's not on the agenda?
This would be the point where you would raise your hand and we would call on you if you're in the public and you would like to speak on anything on the agenda. Or not on the agenda, I'm saying.
Could be either one. Hearing none, then we'll move on to no special permit subdivisions. We have Mystic Hollow re-subdivision, Sandy Hollow Road, acceptance of open space.
So in your packet, I provided a location map. You may recall that this is a 6-lot subdivision with a nearly 2.5 acre piece of open space associated with it. The only improvements on the open space were monumentation and open space markers. Those have been done. Parks and Rec Director is recommending acceptance of the parcel, and I provided a draft motion for you.
Okay. Does anyone on the commission have any concerns with the recommendation to accept the open space?
I do not.
No.
All right, if no one has any, then I'll make a motion to recommend the acceptance of the 2.5 acres of open space associated with the Mystic Hollow re-subdivision. Is there a second?
I'll
Second.
second.
Oh, whatever.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, then we'll vote on the motion for acceptance of the open space. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion is carried unanimously. Okay, site plans, we have no site plans, no old business, new business, we have new applications. Does staff have we received any new applications?
No,
No? No referrals, and we have Knowing Fire District zoning text amendment for public hearing on August 18th. It's in our package. Does staff have any concerns with this?
no concerns,
No?
no impact on the town, no.
It doesn't. Does anyone on the commission have any concerns with the proposed zoning change for Noack? Okay, so I'll have no comment on that. Commission reports, report of chair, I have no items. Report of commission, does anyone on the commission have any items to report? Oh, quiet night. Report of staff. Do you have anything, Deb?
I have nothing to report.
Wow, nothing. It's really quiet, huh?
Holy cow.
We need some activity here. And we have the ASP report. Does anyone have any concerns with that? And then there was a Connecticut Federation of Planning and Zoning quarterly newsletter. I don't know if there's anything did you see anything, Deb, on that was unusual or?
There was one item that could concern you. Let's see. It was PZC can sue ZBA over variance approval.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something interesting if you want to read that on the last page.
I saw that. I was
That
surprised because I'm surprised at the comments or concerns you get raised at that over the COG planning commission meetings. That a lot of people there are also on the zoning board, and they really object to some of these CBA approvals, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Planning
just
Commission
wondered-
actually sued the ZBA back when I first started here. The Zoning Board of Appeals granted a variance to allow more than one house on a lot granted a variance saying someone didn't need subdivision approval. In order, so Planning Commission sued the ZBA and
Oh, they did?
they did. I mean, they negotiated before it actually got to court.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Yeah, that is an interesting thought. But it's probably good to have checks and balances on on the system, really. And then there was a copy of the letter that was sent to the DEP. How's that? Did that get submitted officially?
It did. It did get submitted officially, and we will be, probably by the end of this week, we'll be submitting some supplemental information, the actual resolution that the council approved after the submittal deadline, and then a couple more letters of recommendation.
Okay. How long does it usually take for something like this to get acted on? Usually it's
Yeah,
pretty slow, isn't it?
Last time it was a couple of months.
Oh, yeah, that quickly? Mm,
Well, like, we may know by the fall.
yeah. Okay.
There have been costs that have been determined for that, or
What do you mean?
the property that, for the open space?
I mean, there's an appraisal for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right. That's what I was,
yeah.
But usually the cost is not identified up front.
And we haven't negotiated the purchase price yet.
Yeah. Okay, and our next, so we have no other items. Our next regular meeting is August 11th, which will also be a Zoom meeting, so.
Yes, it will.
So I'll then make a motion for adjournment.
Wow.
Is there a second?
second.
Wow, this is a record. This one. That's-
11 minutes.
Wow, yeah.
I expected it to be a long public hearing. Well, you
Yes.
never know, because neighbors sometimes get upset.
See you in August.
We'll see you on August
All
11th.
right.
All right.
Good night all.
Thank
Then, good night, everybody.
Safe.
All right.
Thanks.